Here's the dark future. You remember LavaBit? And it was like the service is architectured so that the encryption thing isn't possible. And they got a gag order and orders to alter their technology so that a wiretap could be performed. What if you have a lawful request for surveillance? Your Microsoft account can be used to provision software to run on your device. That seems like a really easy path. Like you don't even have to, it's like, oh yeah, we'll just add it to the account and now this piece of software is attached to your device. Whoopsie doodle. As a person, instead of a case being built against you with real evidence, you immediately started a disadvantage because it's like, here is some evidence against you and it's like, this isn't even anything to do with me and somebody with a brain should look at this.
Yeah.
But it's just like the Microsoft interaction where it's just a Kafka-esque nightmare.
So we have a topic about Microsoft, which I know is your favorite company.
Oh, absolutely.
And they make your favorite operating system.
Oh, the suffering is endless.
Yes. And because of their innovation on suffering, we have another topic today. One is the access to Bitlocker recovery keys through administrative warrants, through external agencies.
And your email and everything else.
And your email and everything else. Another one
OneDrive.
Is all your stuff getting, I believe the verb you used that I've never heard before was snarfed. And I don't know if you just made that up or if it's from the Smurfs or what, but I don't even know if it's offensive. I might be saying something offensive right now. If I am, it's his fault. I just learned it from him. Concern number 3, though.
Criminals.
Attackers.
Yeah. Criminals are leveraging this functionality. And so this is also what sort of brought it to my attention, and it turned into a rabbit hole of crazy.
Before that, this video is brought to you by Montech and the Tannen Micro ATX case. The Tannen is launching for Montech's 10-year anniversary and goes heavy on the mesh ventilation with a fine mesh front, side panel, and even heavily ventilated rear exhaust for the case. The case is an open slate for fan positioning and airflow, and also advertises 9 power supply positions, 3 motherboard positions, and 7 GPU slots across modes, which makes the case highly reconfigurable, giving you the ability to build a unique micro ATX PC that gives more space than ITX, but doesn't take the footprint of ATX. Learn more at the link in the description below.
One of the adventures, if it could be described as that, from one of our forum users, it seemed like they had made progress with Microsoft security because they still had, like, one of their authenticator accounts was still working something. And they got an email that was like, hey, we're gonna help you with the recovery process. Do this, and this, and whatever. And then in the email, it was like, if this was not sent by you for the recovery, click here and we'll cancel the request. But that also went to the email address the attacker had added to the account, like the backup email address. And so the attacker saw that and canceled it. And then Microsoft support was like, we can't help you.
Man.
It's just like, did you not plan for this? Like, it's like, oh, are you just hoping the person that added their backup email address to your email is like not gonna...
It's like the Reddit, like, mods are asleep meme.
And when your Microsoft account is tied to your government identity, which is coming with the whole, don't think that kind of thing is not coming, because it absolutely is.
But Wendell, I was told it's all just outrage for outrage, and this isn't actually happening.
It's the amazing thing is going to be, oh, look how convenient this is. Instead of having to upload your ID to every website, you can just sign in with your Entra ID, and we just handle that behind the scenes. And it's like, I would rather not be personally identified literally everywhere I am on the internet at all times.
Well, if you didn't have anything to hide, you wouldn't be worried about it.
Yeah, that's the argument.
You should also let me search your car.
Haha, Microsoft, whatever, make fun of them. But like, really catastrophic failures in customer service and like not understanding the problem and missing the plot is how criminals have weaponized some of this functionality. So it seemed to be something related to people that have Minecraft accounts or legacy Minecraft accounts to do with stealing a session and or password recovery. And the situation that...
I saw a GitHub page, I think, explaining how this worked.
Yeah.
Like, it's just out there. You can just do it.
There are apparently variations on that, because there was a couple people on our forum that did not have a Minecraft account, but they probably were victims of a credential stuffing account because they didn't accidentally... In the Minecraft things, like, you join a rogue server and then it acts like it wants you to log into your Microsoft account, but it's not. But it looks exactly like you're logging into your Microsoft account, and then you get a recovery thing. And then the criminals add their own devices and enroll their own two-factor. And then at that point, Microsoft Security can't help you.
Meaning you've logged into the account, And they're either taking the session or they're somehow keylogging it, logging the data for the form if it's a false form.
Yeah, and getting the session.
And getting the session. And then they log into your account and then they add devices. And then what?
Once they've added the two-factor side of things, they can see any devices you've enrolled. So like suppose you have a laptop and a desktop that have a Microsoft account linked to them. They can enable Bitlocker from the cloud side of things. So they can set a pin on your device, and then your hard drive, if your hard drive was not previously encrypted, you have a pin that you may not know that they set. And so now they can hold your machine for ransom. They didn't deploy ransomware. There is no malware on your computer. They used your Microsoft account to encrypt and lock down your computers without ever actually deploying a piece of malware to your computer.
With something that's actually supposed to protect you from intrusion.
Yes.
Bitlocker, yeah.
And Microsoft support is completely unprepared for this scenario.
Yeah, how do they handle that? Because
I'm glad you asked.
Okay.
At Microsoft, safeguarding your account is a top priority. We have thoroughly investigated the account and billing activity associated with your Microsoft account. Based on this review, we've confirmed unauthorized access control. This is somebody that was paying for OneDrive on a monthly basis too, because of the aforementioned unauthorized access occurred. During the investigation, we discovered that the security information on your account had been changed. That's the thing we were talking about. Due to our strict security protocols and the terms outlined in the Microsoft Service Agreement, we are unable to modify or restore the security settings once they've been updated. Really? Really, Microsoft? Really? Like, you're looking at this happening to thousands of accounts, and you're like, I don't know, I guess you're going to have to buy more OneDrive. I mean, come on. If you use this account for Minecraft, we regret to inform you that the game cannot be recovered. A new purchase will be required on a newly created account. We understand that this may be disappointing and sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. Additionally, if you had your files stored in OneDrive, those files are no longer accessible. Due to encryption and privacy safeguards, our engineers cannot retrieve them. While this outcome may not be ideal, it is necessary to ensure your personal data does not fall into the wrong hands.
It's already in the wrong hands. That's why I'm contacting
Literally, not only is it in the wrong hands, imagine that it's like, I've got all my stuff in OneDrive. Why do I need to make more extra backups? Because it's on my laptop, it's on my desktop, it's in the cloud, it's everywhere. Why would I need to make more?
Why would I need local copies?
And now it's gone everywhere.
Shit.
Because everything is synchronized.
Right.
Can't log into your laptop, can't log into your desktop. OneDrive, recovery, not happening. This is our future.
Even if you can log in, so if you have a device that's, actually I'm not too sure how OneDrive interacts at a system level because I don't use it. If you don't have a Microsoft account tied to your Windows login, it's like a local admin. I don't know if you can still use OneDrive, I think.
You can still use OneDrive, but there's a ton of dark patterns around it. It keeps wanting to say, oh, do you want to use this account? You really should use your Microsoft account with the whole system. Click here to do that. And this is, a giant button, accidental pop-up. Yes, I'll okay this. Or if you really want to do the wrong thing, this is terrible for your health, and we're going to do horrible things to you, you can maybe click here and maybe we won't bother you for 5 minutes.
Right.
So
is there something, this isn't the point of the video today, but is there something actionable that people watching, what can people take away to protect themselves from stuff like this? Because, I guess one of the first pieces of advice I would have, based on what you're saying, is keep local copies of things that are important.
Yeah, you can set up a NAS and set up synchronization to a NAS, and your NAS should have snapshot capabilities. Like shadow copy is the Windows terminology, but TrueNAS supports that.
I would think the main reason someone might use OneDrive, the main reason would be they accidentally did it. The second reason would probably be OneDrive or Google Drive or any cloud service like that, is that it's easy and you can just access it anywhere and you don't have to set anything up.
Yeah, if you have relatively uncomplicated needs and a few gigabytes of personal documents, OneDrive is a reasonable solution to keep. It's like I'm editing a document on my phone, and then I'm going to switch to my laptop, and I'll switch to desktop, so that you can sort of seamlessly move between them. Like, OneDrive is not a bad experience for those kinds of things. It's just that, and it's not just OneDrive. It's like if you go to the Microsoft Store and you install any application, it will constantly try to convert your local account into a cloud account.
Yeah.
There's a ton of stuff built into the OS at this point to try to help you convert that. And most people don't most people don't understand the larger implication of that, because it's like, okay, my email is in the cloud. I understand that that's just on somebody else's server, and somebody else might get access to that. They don't really make the cognitive leap from, I have a cloud service to all of my stuff really depends on me doing an extra special good job of taking care of that account because
Yeah.
it is, I can't get on the internet with it. Now, layer on age verification and identity verification, and then it takes on a whole other...
That's an interesting point. Yeah, we've been covering that pretty extensively on both channels now. And if you start tying your identity to these accounts also, I mean, that depending on how that's stored, that also gives attackers potentially, they get into one thing and they might now have pathways into far more serious stuff, like, you know, identity theft and things like that, so, which remains a
There's going to be a strong, not just identity theft, there's going to be a strong criminal demand for accounts that have been compromised, that have been age verified, to just be able to do things. And there is no more criminal intent there other than just not.
The phrase criminal demand is, I've never heard that before, and it's brilliant because it's like, it is a market and there is supply and demand.
Yeah.
There's probably recessions in the criminal market, and there's inflation in the criminal market.
The people that did the age verification laws did not understand the market that they created for criminal activity in that.
Right.
But also, you know, look how lazy law enforcement is with the whole administrative warrants at the top and then all the way down to like flock cameras at the bottom. Now you're on a back foot. It's like if your Minecraft account was compromised while you were a teenager or in college, and then 6 months later, it's like, well, you know, somebody used your Microsoft account for tap to pay at this bodega and the payment was bad. You're on the hook. Prove that you weren't at the bodega.
Right. Yeah. Especially if you just walk away from the account, you're like, whatever, you know, which I've done. I mean, not anytime recently, but a long time ago. I remember EA Origin. So Microsoft and EA Origin were the two services for me that were illegitimately logged into the most in the olden days. And this was before I was a lot more secure with my stuff, but it was also when the internet was just different, you know, where those accounts got breached fairly regularly, mostly video games related. And there were instances where I was just like, I don't care. It's like Dirt 2 is, you know, the only thing on that account, and whatever, they can have it. But then if you have like tap to pay or something hooked up to it, and you don't do anything to contest that, you'll have no paper trail to show that you tried to distance yourself from this user. Yeah. So.
And even if you do have a paper trail that shows that you tried to distance yourself, I mean, we are already seeing that with like where technology is just being allowed to run, and it's like, here is some clues from the technology, but as a person, instead of, you know, a case being built against you with real evidence, you immediately started a disadvantage because it's like, here is some evidence against you, and it's like, this isn't even anything to do with me, and somebody with a brain should look at this.
Yeah.
But it's just like the Microsoft interaction where it's just a Kafka-esque nightmare of...
I mean, I have a real example of it where when I was a kid, I played RuneScape pretty heavily, and probably I stopped playing for some period, and maybe 5 or so years later, I was like, I just want to log in, and it's just like nostalgia, right? I just want to look at the game again. And I go to log in, and the password wasn't working. I tried to do a password reset, and that was when it would tell you what email it sent the reset to, which is super insecure for other reasons, and it wasn't mine. So the account had been breached because probably that password leaked somewhere else, and you know, and I remember starting the account recovery process, and support was like, well, you haven't used this account for years and someone else has been using it, so like we don't really have any way to know this is you. You know, like this is, so it's basically like forfeiting the account.
Yeah.
And fortunately for a video game, it's like, I guess I just need to move on. But I just let it go and be a memory.
Well, can you imagine, though, if that account was used for communicating with, like, a terror cell that was shut down in the U.S.?
Thanks.
And then it's like, you know, prove that you're not, and then it just turns into a big headache.
Yeah.
It's like, did they even figure it out? Probably not. You know, they just it's like, oh, we closed the case. And
they logged into your Counter-Strike account, and then on DE Dust 2 shot into the wall terrorist message.
Yeah. This is like, oh yeah, this is definitely a CS2 player.
This gives me an idea, not like that. Did if someone compromises an account and starts holding everything for ransom, do you negotiate with terrorists? do you pay the ransom?
No, but at the same time, like the goal could shift. Like the most value is if you're willing to pay the ransom. The second most value is now you have an identity that can be used online for whatever, to fly under whatever radar.
Even if you pay the ransom, they could still do that, I guess, right? Because they already got everything. So
the other, it's not linked to the Microsoft discussion that we have, but this kind of thing has also been happening at a relatively large scale with folks getting tech jobs from regimes where companies should not be hiring folks from that country, like North Korea.
Right.
Like we have North Koreans that have surreptitiously seized accounts like your RuneScape account, and they're not interested in criminal activity other than impersonating someone who lives in America in order to get a tech job, in order to open a bank account, in order to send the money somewhere else.
This is my RuneScape account. As you can see, it's level 99 and everything. I'm very qualified to work at Google.
Yeah, exactly. And that is surprisingly common. You would be surprised. There's and there's no shortage of folks that don't understand how their actions might contribute to that. Like the FBI has raided a couple places where randos is like, hey, we just want you to set up a bunch of laptops in your basement and run this software on them, and we'll pay you monthly to do that. And it's like, that sounds like a really good idea.
Sounds awesome. I have old laptops.
Yeah, but it turns out that like those were actually North Koreans using those laptops on this residential connection to make it seem like they were in America.
Right.
Whoopsie doodle. Okay, so in the past, imagine it's like, okay, this is a Microsoft account that's linked to my computer, but in the OneDrive, the forced OneDrive future, Microsoft really wants us to link all of these things together. And something unholy has been happening because people would link their their Minecraft accounts, their old school Minecraft accounts. And apparently that unlocks a newer, relatively low security way for bad guys, or if you've used the same password and you've been part of a data breach or something. And so for months it's been going on, and Microsoft support hasn't really handled it well. We've had some people on our forum that have been affected by this, and I looked into it, and it was really surprising how badly Microsoft handles it. But the future that we seem to be facing is you create a Microsoft account for your computer, which then creates a cloud account, and then stuff from your computer goes to the cloud account. Microsoft really wants to enable BitLocker drive encryption.
They also really want to force OneDrive, as you're saying, because you can turn that stuff off, but I get like we were just talking about this yesterday, you get the dark pattern pop-ups, right, where Windows will pop some shit up while you're in the middle of typing something, and you hit enter because you're typing a sentence. Yeah. And then you're like, I don't know what I just agreed to. I have no idea what that pop-up was.
Yeah, there's been at least a dozen people in our forum that have encountered things where OneDrive, something like that happened, and OneDrive popped up. It's like, hey, you want to use OneDrive? And it's like, sure. But then OneDrive also deletes the stuff off of your local computer.
That I didn't know because I don't use it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And it's like, oh, you don't need it on it. You'll accidentally use the wrong copy. Here's the thing. Now, Microsoft has changed the behavior of that a couple of times. I don't know if that's still happening because a lot of people complain about that. A lot of people also would say that, hey, OneDrive is now saying that I need to give them money because I'm storing too much stuff. I don't remember storing stuff on OneDrive, but it was actually just because it was snarfing the documents after they agreed. And then it's like, oh, why did you I don't even want this on OneDrive. This should just be on the one computer.
Right.
But the bad thing is that identifiers for your machine and like the BitLocker and BitLocker recovery keys will automatically go to the cloud, which is with your Microsoft account.
Which is concerning for a few reasons. One of them, I mean, is like putting encryption keys on the internet if someone gains access to the device. But that is actually even maybe less likely than the other vulnerability that we've heard of.
Yeah.
Which is an administrative warrant.
Yeah. So it's like with your Microsoft account in the cloud and it being so linked to your, like say, your desktop computer, your laptop, and your phone, if you make a mean tweet about the U.S. administration, this has actually happened, then you can get an administrative warrant, sent to Google or Microsoft looking for more information about your account.
Yeah, and it might, just to be clear for people too, it might not even be like a threat or anything like that. This has happened for just people saying mean stuff.
Yeah, it's like, why is this level of idiocy happening? Administrative warrant.
Yeah, and it's on Reddit too. There was the story just a week or two ago about the administration trying to gain access to user information on Reddit for posting critical comments. And so
it's not considered private information. It's considered business records. And it's like, wait, this is my personal account you forced me to have when I signed up for a computer.
Yeah, for the Microsoft one.
Yeah.
And the Bitlocker stuff. So to complete that story, the end result of the one you were talking about is, I believe it was the FBI was able to gain encryption keys for a user.
Yeah, they just did an administrative request to get the Bitlocker recovery keys, which was then useful to recover the Bitlocker from a physical device. Think about like traveling through an airport. It's like, oh, my laptop has Bitlocker, and it's like they can just do an administrative request and immediately get the key. It is a minor inconvenience.
Well, and at worst, you maybe wait 24 hours for Microsoft to respond, and they'll put you in a holding cell for that time. So,
It doesn't seem like the rule of law. It seems like, I would like a judge or an advocate to be like, now, why are you requesting this? Why is this a matter of security? Is this person suspected of having done a crime? Like, I'm not even sure that.
As someone who has been detained by at least one government in at least one location for specifics we won't get into, it's not particularly fun when you're just sitting there waiting and it's not really clear what's happening.
Like, what am I being accused of again?
Especially if you have to hand over your phone or some device. It's like, they're going to copy all the data, and I guess we'll just hope that the security works and there's no backdoors.
Yeah, and that could, if someone is giving you information about illegal activity, then that could put the person who has given you the information about illegal activity in danger. Mm-hmm. Because if they're willing to do one set of illegal activity, why not a second set of illegal activity?
Yeah, and so, and this is like, on my side, this is going off track a little bit, but the concern for us, is if I'm interfacing with sources, we do a lot to protect people. And so, like, GPU smugglers, for example. Fortunately, I have all that stuff isolated on other devices that I don't just like bring with me everywhere. But that one, the concern is always just, okay, maybe you are not the subject of interest for an agency or a corporation that's doing an investigation. They might be doing the investigation through you, though, to get to someone else. And I think that's kind of a vector a lot of people don't think about, because for a lot of people, it's like, well, I'm not that interesting of a person. This would never happen to me. It's like, well, but maybe you know someone who's interesting. And
well, here's the dark future. You remember LavaBit? And it was like the service is architectured so that, the encryption thing isn't possible. Mm. And they got a gag order in orders to alter their technology so that a wiretap could be performed. Now, imagine Microsoft with their Microsoft account. You have services like this, the business services for Microsoft for device management and managing software on your phone is really not a lot different than what businesses use to manage that. Mm-hmm. And so imagine Microsoft putting in a facility where it's like, oh, in order to comply with a lawful, assuming that, the law is probably unreasonable, but, assuming that it was a lawful request,
right.
What if you have a lawful request for surveillance? Your Microsoft account can be used to provision software to run on your device. Like that seems like a really easy path. Like you don't even have to, it's like, oh yeah, we'll just add it to the account and now this piece of software is attached to your device. Well, Microsoft has smart people working for them. They ought to do better than this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not the person who wrote that support response, or very smart, but for all of the wrong reasons. Because like the oh no, you'll have to buy everything again. Yeah. Sorry. Like I would expect, first of all, it's not acceptable regardless to just be like, fuck you, we can't help. But even if they're going to say, for security reasons, we can't help you regain access, if you have sufficient evidence that it was your account, and if they know you no longer have access, I'd expect them to at least comp you, like the Minecraft $10 key or whatever.
I would be more worried about the loss of whatever the heck I was paying to store in OneDrive.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I can't get my Microsoft account back, and I can't get my files, and I still have my physical laptop and my physical desktop. Like, what am I...
It's all paperweights though, right? Like we just did that in our other video, which is probably coming up after this one, but where once you lock that stuff down, if you can't get in, it's just gone, right?
Google's approach for this has been, you can print your recovery keys and then like they're a one-time use. Mm. And so it's like if you have the printout for that, that's like your emergency recovery. I want to say also Blizzard has something that is more sophisticated than what Microsoft has for account recovery and permanence, which is shocking and telling. And it's like if you...
People really care about their WoW accounts, and maybe that's why, but...
The reasoning that goes into an administrative warrant is really no different than if there was like, the Salt Typhoon, like the forced telecommunications backdoor. Okay, imagine a world where the government has to vet and control, say, all of your Wi-Fi routers. Far-fetched, I know. Like, what? That seems crazy.
Why would that ever happen?
Yeah, and so imagine an administrative warrant where someone can sit outside your house and connect to your Wi-Fi and then just pull stuff from your network
While you're using it.
while you're using
Yeah.
it. It's like, oh, it's local data, but then it's like the device has to be mandated to have these kinds of things in them. And if you say that's insane, no one would ever mandate that there be backdoor access in telecommunications equipment. I have some bad news for you.
Do too. I also have some news that I probably can't talk about yet. but suffice to say, backdoors are not. It's not just theory.
Turns out.
I think that's pretty good for this one. I did have another. We'll have at least one more discussion video topic. I have to choose between like age and ID verification and other stuff, but we have many options right now, which is not a great thing. But it'll be fun. So you mentioned the forum a couple times. Shout that out. So
Oh yeah, forum.level1techs.com.
yeah. So if you're interested in joining or seeing those discussions Wendell was talking about, head over there.
They're ill-tempered randos, but they're my ill-tempered randos, and I try to keep them in line. But let me know.
It's like you're like the king of ill-tempered randos. So you can.
We're just trying to make the world a better place through our grizzled and gruff, with prickly outer shell.
I was gonna say we just need to harness the ill temperament and point it at something productive. That's kind of the goal.
You saw the sign downstairs. It's like, we'll be nicer if you'll be smarter.
Yes. Words to live by. So we'll link that below. Otherwise, check out Level 1 Techs on YouTube. And yeah, thanks for joining.
No, thanks for it's fun times.
Yeah. Let's go to the next one.